Good afternoon and welcome. This is Stitching in the Cottage with Captain Stitches. Hi, I'm Jean. Welcome everyone this afternoon. It's great to see you. Hello, Yo Patty G. It's great to see you this afternoon. I hope you have a project with you to work on, as this is just going to be a casual time to sit and do some chatting together and some stitching together. So grab a project and a beverage and let's get stitching and chatting. Hello, Carol. Great to see you as well. So I have three different projects that I have pulled out to possibly work on this afternoon while we are together. I have my uh, jeans what jean technique, is that what you call it, Yo Patty? But anyhow, my happy National Puppy Day. Well, I didn't know it was Puppy Day, Danielle. Thank you. But great happy puppy day to you too as well. But but I have my jeans that I'm working on. I have my EPP, Mother's Love Project, and Mr. Supervisor over there. Can you see him over there in the corner watching, sitting in his chair? Well, he doesn't have a quilt yet of his own. Jean's jean technique. Okay. I knew it was something like that, a little tongue twister, but he doesn't have a quilt of his own yet. So have some I do have a pattern and some fabrics that I've had for a while, so I may start cutting the fabrics on that while we are together. We'll see what I end up doing, but so that I can start on that and make a quilt for him. I don't want to say his name because he'll get all excited, and we don't want that right now. But so anyway, right now, what I'm doing is actually um, blanket stitching this yo-yo on the bottom portion of these jeans, and I'm almost around that yo-yo. So that's what I'm going to start working on. And when I get when I get tired or think that I've worked on this enough, I'll switch over to one of the other projects to work on. But what are you all currently working on? I know you're at work, Danielle, lurking while working. See, oh, I can rhyme things too. Oh, that wasn't intentional. It just kind of came out that way. But yeah, working in a circle on a pair of jeans, doing any stitching can be a little difficult because you are changing the direction that you are going quite often. And to get your hand in there and get everything going so that you can do that stitching properly, it was it was okay until the one area, because it's at the bottom, yet it wasn't the right direction for my hand being at the bottom, and it was way too far to try and go in from the top. So it got a little tricky, but I think I'm past that that stage. I hope, and I won't run into that problem again while we are together, but we'll see. If I do, I'll figure it out like I did a while ago. But Danielle says that she is working and secretly doing EPP hexi thread basting. Okay. I actually do the glue basting on mine. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna do some thread basting and then decide which technique I prefer, but I don't know. They both work just fine, so it's whichever one you like the best is what works. So, but I have 3,283 hexagons to piece together in this quilt. And then there's applique on top of that afterwards. So quite a bit to go. That's going to take a little while. Carol is working on the same project on that I am, and she's been working on it. I've been working on other things, so she's quite a bit further along than I am. And hers is beautiful fabrics that she's been using in that. Oh, yep. He's not so little anymore though. But yeah, he's he's got quite the expression in the face. But yes, he's sitting over there scratching now. But oh, I think he's having a hard time trying to figure out what's with the weather. Also changing from, okay, it can be nice and warm and sunny one day, and then we're back to freezing and almost think it's gonna snow again. But that's March in Ohio, I guess. I've tried both methods. I prefer thread. Right. And like you said, yep, each to their own. You got to try different techniques because you never know which is going to be your own preference. So, but I like how quick the gluing goes. That's one nice thing. It's it's quite fast and don't have any problem removing the papers whatsoever. So, and I do have the ones that are reusable, so that makes that kind of nice. So they're available for another project or to use in the same one if you don't have enough um, to do the project you're working on. Which I do actually have enough papers to do the 3,283 without reusing any of the papers, but we shall see. I do have all of the hexes cut out. I don't have them all on papers yet. I do have several of them, but yeah, a few to go. And you know how my mind works. I thought, oh, it would be nice because I'm doing mine kind of in a red, beige, and blue theme with a few pinks and whatever thrown in there, but just an alert saying you just got an alert saying snow is approaching. Oh no, Danielle. Keep it up that way. I don't want any more snail. Any more snow. I was thinking of hail at the same time. But we actually got a little bit of hail last night. So we didn't get any. We had a lot of, lightning and heavy rain and winds, but and then some hail along with that. So, but the hail wasn't real big, thank goodness. But enough to hear hitting everything, that's for sure. And the lightning. Ooh, yeah, that was quite a light show. But yeah, I was figuring out because I thought, okay, it would be nice if I had everything done, but the okay, go there. Just got all the way around the yo-yo, so it was making sure that I finished in the correct place so I can bring my thread to the back here and fasten it off. And of course, I got a little tangle in the top here. How to get that out? I don't know how I managed that. Hmm. That's a weird one. Let's see. Know what I did there. Trying to pull it through, but it can become it's not going to come through. Okay, let's see if we can get this knot out. Get all the way around and end up with a knot in your thread. It just never fails, does it? But I will keep picking at it until I get it out. But what I was saying is, so I figured out how many hexes I would have to stitch on each day to get the top done, other than the applique, so that I would be at the point of putting the applique on. And I would have to do 35 a day is how many I would have to, well, at the point that the day that I figured that out. That would, and then I would have the top, other than the applique, done by the 4th of July. Now that doesn't, I guess I should figure out, well, applique is going to take a while though. There's quite a bit of applique on this. This knot does not want to come out of here. That's not nice. Got a good knot in there. Okay, we're just going to leave that, and I will deal with that later so that I can continue to do some stitching. Put that safety pin out of there. We don't need that there anymore, because I think farther up, yeah. And I do actually have another needle in it. I thought I was going to need this needle, but hello, Christiana. It is great to see you. Welcome, welcome. And Agnes, I'm sorry I missed you. Good afternoon. Great to see both of you. But okay, and I need to put my needle where I'm not going to forget where that one is. My favorite needle. But so that is done, and up here I was working on stitching the word hope, so I think I'm going to try and finish that also while I've got my needle in there. Yeah, if I can get to it decent as well. But yeah, so that's kind of my goal right now on the Mother's Love. I don't know that I can actually stitch 35 a day or not with everything else that I have to do, but we will see. We shall see. Well, and that would be also having to prepare the rest of the hexagons that aren't on the papers yet. So that may be pushing the envelope a little too far. And I can see Carol laughing right now. She says, "Sure, Jean." I have well, you can't see it, but when I pick it up, I have been working on it, so I have gotten farther than what I was along on it. What I hate is when I pick it up and realized I put hexie in the wrong spot. That's not fun. It's like, oops, that wasn't supposed to go there. I did find out though by doing that, there's only one that I've done that. And it's kind of okay, because I discovered I don't have to worry about this quilt coming apart, being EPP and hand stitched and the way that I'm doing it, because I had a terrible time trying to get my stitches out to take that hexie back off there that I had sewn in the wrong spot. So I know I don't have to worry about that this quilt's going to come apart because I didn't think I was ever going to get the stitches out to remove that hexie. Hello, Gladys. It's great to see you. It's been a while. I don't know what's happening with my stitches up here right now either, but they are not stitching right. I have to do that. Together. I don't know what's going on here, but we're correcting it. Oh, okay. Let the thread untangle. That will help. But let's see. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying as I had to get this straightened out here. I think my P is getting a little larger than what I had intended on that. Well, maybe not. I'm following the line, so okay. We gotta adjust the hand here. This is fun to do, but can get really, really awkward at times. Figuring out how to get your hand in there to get where you need to be. But it will be so worth it in the end. And I'm getting closer and closer to being finished with these. I'm excited to be able to wear them for the first time. Okay, there we go. Just lost my needle in there. Where'd you go? There you are. So I can pull my hand up through there and finish that off on the back as well. We're going to get to a portion that's going to be a little easier to stitch, I think, while I'm on here. Okay. Got the E left to do on that, but we will do that later. And stick that needle there. Okay, which I did, how well you can see that, but I did get the other butterfly done also and stitched on there. So that portion is done on there that you hadn't seen before. And now after I get that knot out of there, we'll get that done. Oh, we've still got a butterfly up here to embroider on the pocket, but I'm looking to see what else I was going to do on this, which I think I'm going to go ahead and do at least one. Yeah, because I know, okay, trying to plan the color scheme on the stitching that is going around this yo-yo. That needs to be the dark blue. And that's not my sashiko needle. not it. That is it. Unless I have it hiding someplace else. Make sure I didn't. I did have it stored in the, there it is. I was going to say, I did have it stored in the pocket up here. That's the one I want, not that one. Okay. I have a favorite one. This is just the right length, but that's the one I want to use. And I need to get thread. That. And then I'll know where I am. We need the needle threader on this one. No way I'm going to get that through. Danielle says that her triplets came out larger than triplets. Oh, okay. They are 18-ish pounds. For a minute, I'm going, triplets? What triplets are we talking about? Your puppies. I'm going, okay. I had to look. I had to decipher, okay, are you talking about stitching or what triplets did you have that I wasn't aware of? I got it. The puppies came out larger. Yeah. Well, I wasn't expecting any particular size on whip. I'd never had a miniature golden doodle before, and it kind of depends upon the size of their mother on what size they turn out. And of course, I didn't see his mother, so I had no idea what size he was going to be. He's not really large. He's just overweight. Overweight at the moment. But okay, so we are going to start way up here. And I always start on the top and I pull my knot through. Just kind of the same way you would as you do in quilting. But it just pops right through there and then it ends up on the back. But so yeah, we all have our fur babies that we love and they keep us. I'm gonna pull my thumb out of there so I have better control. But yeah, they keep us company for sure, entertained and busy at the same time. Good for that extra exercise. think I think he's going to take a nap for us. So he's laying down right now. So I'm going to scoot this screen back over this way just a little so I can see that better. But so this is the stitching that I'm doing on here right now is just going to be a series of lines in sashiko boro type stitching. Just keep layering them on the needle, trying to follow my line that I'm having a hard time seeing right now as it's blending into the color of the jeans. But this type of stitching is so calming and so peaceful. I mean, the majority of the time. It's can be a little bit more challenging at times doing it on, the jeans than if you were doing on a piece of fabric that you didn't have to worry about how to how do you get your hands inside there to reach. But it really hasn't been that bad. It comes along just fine. So, and it helps because these are a pair of well-worn jeans, so it's not too thick and stiff of a denim to stitch through. If you were working on a newer pair of jeans, that might be a little more difficult. Patty says, I have an overnight Chihuahua and Corgi. I'm thinking he has inherited his fatness from the Corgi side. 20 pounds of blubber. Oh, Whip is just, he's got a fat belly. It's like the rest of him is okay. He says, you just talking about me? Did you see him perk up there? He says, oh, I heard that. Okay. I was about to follow down the wrong line there. I'm glad I took a double look at that. I've got some other lines, straight lines going the other way that are going to intersect through my curved line here. And I was about to follow the straight one instead of the curved one. So I'm glad I caught that. But yeah, he weighs, the last time I weighed him, he was 52 pounds, I think. So I put him on a diet. I think he's lost weight since then. I haven't weighed him recently, but I think he's lost a little bit. He's not happy that he's on a diet, that's for sure. But whoever is. Chihuahua and a corgi. Okay. Cute. Cute dogs. Which no, I can't go from there. Trying to see where the other curve starts. It starts way up there. So I have to go to the back, except well, I have this here. We are going to come up and we are going to sew the button on this yo-yo while I'm there. That's a good idea because I happen to have it laying right over here, the button that I want to go in the middle of there. It looks much like it's an old one off of something else, but it looks much like a button that you would find on a pair of jeans. And so that is what I decided to use in the middle of this yo-yo. We'll get that on there quick, and then we might switch over and do some stitching on the axes. That in the middle there. Yeah. Really was able to hit the right spot the first time. I'm glad this is thicker thread. I don't have to go through there as many times. and it's not being used, so I think that's going to hold it just fine. Get through a stitch here, so I can knot that on the back. There we are. Okay. So we got the first line of the curve stitched. I don't know if you can see that, but coming down there. And that's the first one. So the next one will swirl actually around the yo-yo and come up. And I'm going to be doing it not all in the same color. I'm actually going to, well, the next one though, I do want in this color as well, because I'm going to be doing some yellow and I don't want that right next to the yo-yo, and the next one goes right next to the yo-yo. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do that in this darker color as well. So we'll get that started so I know where I'm at, and then we will move on along to the EPP. At least give you an idea of what it's starting to look like. That going in there. But I have found that working on these jeans is very much as calming and kind of the same process as slow stitching, because it's not totally planned out. I'm kind of deciding what to do as I go along, and as I look at it, then I decide on what I want to add where. You can just kind of look at it and go, okay, it needs a little something something over here, or yeah. So that's how I go along in that. We seem to be having a problem with the knots today, but okay. So there, I like to leave my needle in where I'm working, so I know what I was doing. So we're gonna move those out of the way. I don't think there's anything else to actually show on there that you haven't seen before. So we'll just leave it go and let you be surprised when I do my what stitching to show the update on what's been done. So we're going to set those off to the side. We're going to move this part out of the way. Up there. Okay. And that is my diagram for that. Okay, we can scooch this thread out of the way too. But here is my mother's love so far, which working on the center star portion of this. And I am on, yes, this part right here is what I am working on. And this, oopsie, that's the part I'm stitching. This is what it looks like so far. And so I think I've got 1, 2, and a 2, and this point's almost done. So That's the one we're working on right now. So 2 more stars left to go to that, and then I can start the next round. And I actually have these numbered, and I mark them off as I do them, so I know where I'm at in that pattern. But yeah, that's just the middle section of it. For those of you that may not have seen it, this is what I am making. So, and you can see that this is the applique that goes on after that is all done. But that is the project that I'm working on. It finishes, forget what size it finishes out to, 88.5 by 79 is the finished size of the quilt. So, but that is my EPP project. So, and we've got, make sure that's what I did last time. I had the next one that I needed to work on. on on just hooked on, and I ended up sewing it on the wrong edge from where it was supposed to be. But Patty says, very nicely done, Jean. Thank you. Thank you very much. I try. But where is, okay, there's my needle. I need some thread. Whoopsie. Okay. See if I'm any good at getting my needle threaded today. Yeah, it's got that on the first try there. And I used the Decobond thread, which is it's a 80 weight cotton polyester thread. So it's slippery and it's thinner. So on our knot, we have to do a few more wraps than what we normally do, or it just pops right through there, and we don't want that. So that's why you see me going over my needle quite a few more times than what I normally would. And I'm burying it to begin with there. Okay. And I do a ladder stitch, not a whip stitch on my hexies. And I always make sure that the first couple stitches on the end there, that I do not that. Not the first one as I stitch it. And I will knot the second stitch. I just want to make sure. Better to be sure about something than have the chance of it coming apart later. Okay. Make sure everything's still lined up. And I don't have the overhead camera set up today. I moved it. I normally have it ready all the time, but I moved it yesterday when I was doing something else, and I didn't get it back into position, so I won't be able to use that today. Ooh, that's so pretty. Thank you, Danielle. Yeah, I think it's going to be beautiful. I would have loved to have gotten the kit. It's from Laundry Basket Quilts, but I just couldn't quite justify the expense of it since I have so much fabric on hand. I do have some of the collection. It's the Lighthouse collection from Laundry Basket Quilts, edited Sitar. And I did have a fat eighth bundle of the fabrics that are used in it. So I do have some of them in the project, but mine will be different fabrics and little different colors than what the pattern shows. Right. Come on. Always get caught on the corner of the hexie as sewing these. You get in a little ways farther. But yeah, so my hexie has a number on the back of it. So I know where I'm at and where it goes. In there. There we go. It would I think what I'm going to do when I work on this each day to try and give myself more incentive on my challenge to do 35 hexagons on it a day is I'm going to get the 35 hexies that are in the portion that I'm working on out and lay them there so I know how far along I am on them each day, and I can see the little stack dwindling down, and hopefully that will inspire me to get them done. I have to time myself also and see how long that takes. Like it makes a difference, right? It's going to take as long as it's going to take. Oh, but I'm just a little OCD in case you didn't notice. And so things like that just seem to, yeah. Okay, so now it's ready to, now we have the point to that. Just have to flip it over and piece it onto this other one. Just keep going. Sure we'll get that lined up correctly. Here we go. Not in that as well. Up. It seems so quiet. I'm I'm sorry, I'm not that great at conversation, I guess, while I'm stitching. Hello, Linda. It has been a long time since I've seen you as well. Very nice fabric. She says you're making the process of making the hexies. Okay. All of my hexies are cut. Um, Some of them are prepared on the papers, not all of them are, because like I said, there's 3,283 of them, but they are all cut out. They all are sorted by fabric. And So we're 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 getting there. Which I guess I could show you how I store and have them organized. My method for that anyway. Oops. Didn't realize Whip had moved. He's underneath me. I almost got him. But I have this box for the part that I am currently working on, which when we open that, it has, this will be the next color that goes on. And they're all in there already prepared on the papers, and they are numbered, so I know where they go. And then the other ones after that are the outer part are also in here all ready to go and numbered. And there are flowers that go in that part, and those are see all my numbers on the back. but those are ready as well to go on then. So I have that portion. So that's the stuff so that I'm working on currently. So if I want to take that in the house or take it someplace else that I'm going to have to stitch with me, I can. And then I will show you. Oh, you have to move this to get to it. Oh, can't lift that up that way. It's too heavy. But then I have this stackable unit, and this has all the rest. It has, see, I thought I undid that. I guess not. Okay. But that is the rest of the blue on there, and these are not on papers yet. Those all need to get on the papers, and they are sorted by the color. And these are all the rest of them that go in there. So all of them are there. And then this is the border fabric that is laying down in here. But so that is how I am keeping everything together. And these all hooked together so they stay as one. This stacks right in there. The handles hook that all together, and everything stays together in one place. And I have a label on the front of it that says Mother's Love, so I know what is in there and where it all is. There we go. And it just sets right down in my little 3-tiered tray over there. So handy. Those are the projects that I'm currently working on that I keep in the little 3-tiered trays. And I was going to share with you also what I did earlier this morning as part of the sashiko stitching. Something that I'm going to try out. So I did a little prep work on that this morning also. Make sure those corners are staying together there. We'll get this hexie in place first here. I probably do a little overkill in the number of stitches that I do in my hexies, but that's okay. Like I said, the one that I had to try to remove, I know that this quilt is not going to come apart when it is done. Took forever to remove. To get that one seam off that hexie. I normally do not do EPP. I do hand piecing instead. I think it goes faster and skips an entire step of having to prepare them all by putting them around the papers. But I decided I would try one project with the papers. So that is this one. And I have to admit, I did not like it at all at first. But as you do a few, you get a little faster at it, and you get used to the process. So it's not so bad. They both have their advantages and disadvantages, just like everything else. The part I don't like is having those papers in there, and when you've got a project that you're going several different ways on, being stiff and in the way and having to bend them to do your stitching, that's the part I don't like. You don't have that problem when you're hand piecing them because you don't have those papers in there adding to the bulk of it. Okay, so I'm at the end here. And you don't get caught on them while you're sewing either, on those little corners of the papers sticking out there that your thread has a tendency to want to grab onto. Okay. Oh, we have that on. We need to finish. We need to finish attaching this one. That's when I realized I had not sewn the one. Oops. Okay, we gotta cut this thread because it's not in the right place for going on to the next. Okay, check our time here. In there. Just gonna stick that in there so I don't lose my needle, but so now we have our point completed on there. We've got the other two to go, and that star will be complete. I will have that done, and hopefully a little more than that. I have the other ones sitting right here clipped together for the next portion of that. But what I did for the sashiko this morning is decided to make a I traced a couple patterns that I want to do on the stick and stitch, which is this. So I have those traced on there, and all I have to do is I can cut that across there, use that whole part, or I can decide I want to use, a smaller portion of it if that's what I want. But those are two different sashiko patterns. I don't know. I don't recall the name of them right now, but I will talk more about that in the what's stitching in the cottage update later on in the week. But yeah, so, and before taking this off and using it, of course, there's a lot of work in tracing that on there. So I went ahead and I didn't know which was going to come out better. That doesn't belong with that. At first, I printed it trying to save ink in the black, but I don't like how that didn't come out as strong in the pattern. So then I used the color and that does show up better. But I have that as a master copy then, that when I want to use that, all I have to do is put that in the printer, run it through on the stick and stitch, and I will have that to use in other projects using this sashiko. So I'll be doing that with several of the patterns that I want to do. So I have that all ready to go, and I can also have some patches and stuff made up already on them to just have a little stack and be able to pull when I want to work on other projects. But the one project we didn't get to while we're together here, I can at least show you. Oops, don't lose it, Jean. Is the quilt for Mr. Gentleman sitting over there in the chair so nicely. She's sitting up, so we'll move just a little bit so you can still see him there. But I'm going to do a tumbler quilt in that, and the fabrics that I have just happen to have dogs and cats and bunnies and fish. Okay, this will be the border fabric, and this will be the inner border fabric, which is different types of animal paw prints on that. But the fabric that I'm using, oops, that's part of that, is called Max and Whiskers. And we'll pull that off there, and you can see that it's got all the little doggies and cats and fish, turtle, bunny rabbit. What else do we see? I think that's about it. But oh, is he a Labrador? Well, hello, Shalom. Sorry, I missed you coming in. No, he is a golden doodle. So yeah, he's a golden doodle, not a Labradoodle. They're hard to tell apart. but they have different personalities. That is for sure. Okay. But yeah, so that's the fabric for his quilt. I was going to see what, then they have the fire hydrant and the dog house and the words bow wow and all that going on there. But I thought that was a cute fabric. I just happened to have in my stash. There's one with the dog bones on it. Thank you. He is a very handsome, we call him a big boy now, not a little boy. But I haven't been saying his name because that gets him excited. But yeah, his name is WHIP, as it says on there, and it does stand for work in progress. And he definitely is a work in progress, but he is very, very, very smart. So he has been an awesome, awesome, awesome dog. He is my emotional support dog. And he does very well at that. So that is what I hope to get some of that cut out today. I think it takes, yeah, I need to have it set 8 across by 8 down. So that's 80 of the tumblers that I need to cut out. And the nice thing about these are, and I'll show you real quick. We'll cut one for those of you that may not have seen how using the charm squares with the tumbler blocks, my not here, you end up with hardly any waste whatsoever, because and I use rotating mat because yeah, some of them end up being cut the other way. But it's just easier because you don't want to pick this up once you start cutting, because all you do is just cut the one side off Whirl it around, trim the other. And this is the only waste are these two little pieces there that you have from cutting that. And then you have your little tumbler cut out of that, all ready to go. And you can plan that. So if you don't want, a pattern upside down, you just make sure on how you set your tumbler on that when you're doing it. Ooh, that's a pretty fabric. Is you won't be able to tell, but it looks like it's got the effect that the grunge does. But that's gonna be pretty nifty. But anyway, I need to cut 80 of those out and then get started on that quilt. I did have one sitting over here, but I will show that in my next video. That is my what stitching when I do the update on what I have been working on for the entire entire week. So Shalom says, haha, perfect. Aren't we all a work in progress? Yes, I guess we are. Very, very well put, Shalom. We are definitely all a work in progress. Some of us coming closer to completion than others, depending on our age. But yes, always a work in progress. But anyway, an hour is up. I know I do have this scheduled. Oops, sorry, my mouse keeps clicking on things that it shouldn't click on. But I do have have an hour and a half allotted for this, depending on what we're doing. If I have other people with me from time to time, it may take longer or what we're working on, but I allotted an hour and a half. I don't really intend to go an hour and a half. I intend to usually try and keep it at an hour, but just in case we go over, that is what I have it scheduled for. So this was the first, I guess it's maybe the second, the other was just a test. But yeah, this will be every Monday at this time slot. And if you are a member of my private Facebook group, Captain Stitches and Friends, and you would like to come up here with me, this is a Zoom that I use for my streaming software. So if you would like to come and be part of the Zoom panel and actually be on YouTube with me live, all you have to do is send me a message through Messenger in Facebook. If you are a subscriber and a member of my private Facebook group, then I will allow you to come up on the Zoom with me if you so choose. It depends upon, the day and the week and what I'm doing. But yeah, let me know if you would like to do that, and I will send you the information for that. Hopefully some of you will decide to come up and stitch along with me from time to time, but it's just meant to be a nice casual little time to just work on some projects together, stitch, get inspiration and some tips and techniques from others along the way. I always share tips and techniques along the way as I'm working. And you might come across something that is like, ooh, I think I'd like to do that you see someone else doing or that. And feel free, please, to also share what you're working on. Post photos in the Facebook group. We always love to see those, and let us know in the chat also what you are working on. And Shalom also says, sashiko is so satisfying to do. Yes, it is. It is so calming. Very, very calming. I belong to a group, Zen Stitching, and yeah, I like to refer it as it's very Zen for sure. And it is a very awesome way of practicing self-care as you are stitching. My ears are playing games with me. I thought you said Captain Stitches, and now I think that would be a great nickname for your husband. Okay. Never thought of that. I don't, I'll have to see. I'll have to say that when I go in and see what he has to say about that. But when uh, yeah, the words underneath that come up when you say it, it always says Captain Stitches on there instead of kept in stitches. So yeah, a lot of people, I think that. And I have had some people think that Kept in Stitches is a comedy show. which I guess it can be from time to time, but no, that is a name. I am actually an LLC. I've had that name for a long time because I was going to and hoping to open up a quilt shop, or what my dream has always been is to open up a bed and breakfast quilt retreat with a quilt shop in it. And I wanted it not to only be quilting, but all forms of stitching, encompassing anything that has to do with needle and thread or fabric. And that is why I chose the name Kept in Stitches. So that is a little history behind that. I love some Zen projects. They do me so much good. Yes, they do. They do. If you're having a stressful day, to just sit down, pick up some type of stitching like sashiko or slow stitching, and just to be able to feel that needle and thread in your hands can be very, very therapeutic and just take that stress level right down. Sometimes depending on what you're working on, but but yeah, with with the sashiko, it's great. And if you just the sashiko thread is so, long that you start with because of the way that it's done, that just even beginning and taking that when you put the thread on your needle, and just to take your hand down the end of that, and it's kind of like, petting your thread, but it's kind of like, I know the gal in the Zen stitching says if you do that 3 times, it's like, yeah, it's just it just calms you right off doing that and doing things in the threes along with that. But yes, oh, that is such a lovely idea. I forget. I don't I forget already what I said, Shalom. So I'm not sure what that I what that idea was, but okay, I do that a lot. I can say something and I'm on to the next thing, and it's like, okay, what did I just say? But so thank you everyone for joining me this afternoon. I know that it is new, so hopefully we will get more people joining us as we go along. And be sure and get the word out that, hey, if you just want to have a little stitch and chat and maybe get some new ideas, have a relaxing, peaceful, calming time, to join me on Monday afternoons, 1 to 2 p.m., 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. I will be here stitching, and you are welcome to chat and stitch along with me. So take care, everyone. The concept of three. Okay, Shalom, I get it. Um, Hopefully you will have a beautiful rest of the week. Everybody will have beautiful weather. Let's get done with all these storms and everything. And Patty G says, thanks. I enjoy the process of hand stitching. And Shlomo says the idea is the B&B Retreat Quilt Shop. Yes, I haven't totally let go of that dream, but as I get older and older, that dream gets farther and farther away. But never give up on your dreams. So in the meantime, everyone, take care and remember, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye, everyone. See you later.